I thought I'd make a video sharing my views on professional spirituality, money making in the spiritual world, charging for wisdom. Now, coming from a, pretty much I suppose what you would call a Taoist perspective, although I'd rather not put a name on it, but simply just, when you're being open to life, anything goes in many ways. So, it is as it is, charging money, it is as it is. It's something that happens, Things happen, they're neither good or bad. Everything simply is. But for the sake of making an interesting video, I thought I'd conduct a little analysis of why it is that people do charge money for spiritual wisdom. One of the things that strikes me is how many spiritual teachers become very limited in their lives. And to me, spirituality is a total opening up of your life into so many different facets of experience. And this limitation, I've never really understood it. To spend your whole life as a spiritual teacher sitting there telling the people the same things over and over and over and over again for years and years and years and years and years and years and years, to me just seems like a very limited way to live. But like I said, it is as it is. And I'd like to stress that point, but for the sake of the analysis, I'll continue. When I see people living such limited lives, my intuition tells me there's fear. There's some kind of fear behind it. And when I see people charging money for their wisdom, my intuition shouts and screams fear. And when I see people taking their roles as spiritual leaders or spiritual people very seriously, my intuition yells fear. Because to me the ultimate realization is that it's all just a dance to be enjoyed, and that obviously releases a lot of stress and makes life supremely enjoyable moment by moment. Even the ego with its silliness is still just a funny phenomenon. It really, what's it doing? For what? Why does it exist? It's all absurd. But I mean, a lot of people misunderstand that. If you say it's all meaningless, then automatically you think, oh, he's depressed, or... It's not true. Actually, life without meaning is beautiful. And actually, some of the most beautiful things in life are the most meaningless. If you've ever watched the sea, the endless waves rushing in one after the other, crashing against the rocks, it's meaningless. It just goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. What for? But it's beautiful. And the trees, they grow, but why? See, everything is meaningless. It's just survival, and that's just to perpetuate experience. And why experience? Why not? That's all. But to go back to this theme of charging money for wisdom, well, Either way is fine. If you want to charge money, charge money. If you don't want to charge money, don't. But I often get this intuitive feeling that there's some kind of fear, because when you surrender totally, you know, when you surrender totally and you become supremely natural and spontaneous and uninhibited and empty, then fear dissolves. And I've always associated money and the accumulation of money with fear, some kind of fear. And I feel that those who charge money for their teachings, they're not trusting in life. So they're jealous of their teachings, and they'll only share them for something in return. Whereas if you totally trust in life, then you can throw your teachings out, left, right and centre. You can throw your wisdom over the world, because you know life's going to look after you. Now, a lot of people said to me, you know, wow, Tom, you know, you've got these little bits of wisdom. You should put them in a book and sell them. And I said, no. I want to share them. I want to get them out there right now. Don't expect anything in return, but I just want to get them out. I want to share them because, crikey, you know, if this world, there's not enough peace. This sounds corny, but it's true. There really isn't a lot of inner peace in this world. There's not a lot of love, not a lot of peace, not a lot of compassion. So, you know, I share it 100%. Free. No strings attached. Why? You know, I mean, where does this owning come from? You know, and this owning and selling, where does it come from? It's not yours in the first place. I mean, this came to me out of nowhere. So how can I claim it? You know, when I see money involved in spiritual teachings, it seems to me that something's being claimed and then charged, or given out in a sort of mean way, demanding some kind of payment. There's fear there, I think. There's some kind of fear. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's just my intuition. But my intuition's not always right. But I live from it. It's just part of my dance. Don't be offended if you're a spiritual teacher and you charge money. Don't be offended. There's no need to be offended. If you're offended, maybe you should inquire further. A lot of people were supremely offended by my video about Inelia Benz, a woman who does charge for her teachings quite a lot, and who promises a lot of spectacular things. But I understand that at the end of the day, it's all about fear. If you're living in fear, and if you're living in fear, it means you haven't surrendered, and you've got a long way to go on your spiritual journey. Enlightenment means an end of fear, an end to stress, an end to worrying. Bear that in mind. Okay, guys. Take care.